Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of the worst team for Pokemon Red and Blue. Last time we left off in Cerulean City. We beat Blue, or Red I should say. And we also caught this guy inside of, I was going to say Rock Tunnel, but Mount Moon. Yeah, like I said in the last episode, I'm not looking forward to leveling this guy up. Paris is just... He says that he's a fun guy, but I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know particularly what I had in mind for a moveset, but I mean, I gotta use it. I mean, I could use it as like an HM slave, but I mean, this is the worst team after all. Like, I have to do something about it. I think with that, I'm just gonna go grind on a couple of the trainers on Nugget Bridge. And I'm gonna get Wigglytuff up to like level 18 first. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch train between Paris and Rattata. And that should in turn get us to a high enough level not only for Raticate, well actually it should evolve into Raticate by the end of this episode, and it can actually get us to a point where maybe Paris will be usable in battle, because right now, yeah, there's a five level gap, and it's just not going to be all that great. But for now, I'm going to let Diva garner some levels and stuff like that, etc. So, on episodes like this, you know, where I go back and forth, you know, battling trainers and stuff on the Nugget Bridge, this is one of those episodes where I kind of want to go on like a little bit of a, not like a rant like how I did last time, but, you know, kind of just discuss topics, you know, that are like on my mind, like while I go through this run through of Pokemon. And I mean, if you know me, like I absolutely love to talk. I can sit here and talk for hours nonstop. I have gameplay behind me. I can talk even longer than that, because I can commentate with the gameplay alongside what's on my mind. Like, I think like a million miles an hour. That's just how I am. I have ADHD. I'm almost positive I do, because like I just go wah, 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 wah. And it's like I get distracted very easily. Like, I'll be like trying to edit like a video and I'll be like, ooh, shiny cat on my timeline, or like I'll be looking at like, ooh, someone posted like a new Fire Emblem video, you know what I mean? It's just like I'll go into like little things like that. But gameplay, it's kind of tough to do that because you're focusing on the game and talking at the same time. But anyway, I want to talk about, like, you know, who I am, like, you know, as like as a content creator. As you guys know, I've been doing content creation now for roughly 10 years of my life. If you guys have followed my channel, you know, the past few months, you guys will know that I did a video in regards to the burnout. And to be honest, like, it's still there, but I mean, I did take a little bit of a break in between July and August, and I did feel a little bit better. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm at a part in my life right now where I kind of want to move on to doing something else. I mean, I love Pokemon just like the rest of the fan base does. And I've loved it ever since I was 5 years old. But, you know, as I get older, you know, I want to do something else, you know, that brings more like light and just like enlightenment, like, you know, just this real passion, like, you know, to your life. And like, what I mean by that is like something that makes you feel like, what can I say? I mean, I'm gonna get a little bit deeper, kind of like a deep. Like, it makes you feel like you're fulfilled. Like, you know, you're doing something that you really, really love and that you're passionate about. It's like what I like to call like my purpose. And, you know, a fun fact about me is that right when I started YouTube and I was 19 years old, I never wanted to do top 10s and scripted content. I actually always wanted to do Let's Plays. This is always what I've wanted to do, and more or less, I mean, like, not as much as I used to, but I mean, I do enjoy, like, I'll be honest, like, I enjoy doing gameplay content over editing, scripting, and recording content. I mean, like, I haven't, like, completely lost my spark, period, for doing that type of content on Mystic Umbreon, but I mean, you know, like I said, as time goes on, like, you know, I feel like I'm getting more burned out by the minute, and doing Let's Plays is kind of my way, you know, of like mitigating that and kind of like, you know, keeping myself busy. Like, I remember like people that inspired me to do Let's Plays back in the day were, you know, Hardy Tech Yo-Yo, Chugga Conroy, Maryland, and like, you know, all those guys, like, you know, they're, Hardy, I haven't watched Hardy in a while. I don't think he's really posting content as much as he used to. I think he might be. Chugga is still obviously posting content. Good for him. I'll always be a fan. But, Maryland, yeah, he hasn't really posted either. And I really enjoyed meeting him when I was able to do, I was at, what was it called again? Pokethon. I did Pokethon in 2019 and I got to meet him there. Really, really down to earth guy. Really amazing person. But I mean, you know, like I love Let's Plays a lot. And I mean, I've always, like, you know, in the very beginning, I saw myself, like, you know, as being like a Let's Player, like, you know, someone like, you know, who commentated on like gaming and stuff like that. It's something, you know, that I always wanted to do per se. Now, it's definitely something I still want to do now, but this is definitely more of like a side thing. I still haven't really, you know, figured out like what I really, really like, you know, want to do with my life yet. And I mean, like, I'm almost 30 years old and, you know, you get into this mindset of like, you know, you should have everything figured out by then, but it's like, quite frankly, like I don't. I'm like, there's like still so much stuff, you know, that I can learn about myself, you know, learn about like what you like, you know, learn about like what I want to do and whatnot. And I think like, you know, it's like a lot of people my age, you know, or, you know, just people in general, like, you know, come to, it's like, you know, you really don't know what you want to do with your life. And with that said, Rattata evolved in the Raticate. Sweet. That's good. All right. Right on. Anyway, though, yeah, like, I feel like I haven't really, you know, found what I truly, truly wanted to do yet with my life. And I mean, some people, like, you know, what they do is they do like 12 years of schooling, you know, preschool, sometimes kindergarten through 12th grade. And I mean, I know that in, some of you guys out there are from Europe and other countries and your schooling system is a little bit different out there. But here in the States, we have K through 12. And, you know, like and as a kid and as a teenager, school always really bored me. Like, you know, college just, it never really was for me. And I mean, even, you know, when I was first starting off in content creation, like I did a couple years of community college. And even then, you know, going to community college, you know, really wasn't what I particularly, you know, wanted to do with my life. I only really did community college, like, you know, to keep my parents occupied. Because, I mean, when I told them, like, hey, like, I want to do Let's Plays for a living, they looked at me in the face and were like, you can do that. But we also have a doubt that it's not going to work out, so we want you to go to school too. But it's like, my parents were never really against me becoming a content creator. They supported whatever that I wanted to do. But at the same time, it's like, you know, they have this system of being like, well, that might not work out, so you need to have a backup plan, which I think is totally logical. Like, you know, for a parent, like, you know, they only want what's best for their kid. And of course, but then, you know, after a couple of years, you know, like, I was still going to school, don't get me wrong, but I was also focusing on doing my Let's Plays at the same time. Funny enough, if I highly doubt any of you guys are here, but if you're one of my original 1,500 subscribers, some of you might actually be here. Some of you guys might actually be watching me right now. And if you are one of those original 1,500, then you remember me from posting on your discussion page, posting in your comment section, even in some cases, coming out to live streams. There was a variety of ways that I actually used to post, like, you know, my channel. But it was mostly from going into people's comment sections. Like, I would go into a couple of really big Let's Play YouTubers from back in the day, and I would just go in there and click on the variety of names, and I would just go to their discussion page, copy and paste the same exact messages I had before. And I also did Pokemon Amino. That's right, Pokemino was another way that I used to advertise all my stuff. And I remember I used to get a very, very mixed opinion of getting my content out there. Like, people, you know, either really supported it, or they were like, spamming is like, you know, not the way to do it. But it's like, buddy, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm like, do you expect me to let the YouTube algorithm do its job? Had I would have let the YouTube algorithm do the job, I would have never gotten those 1,500 subscribers. Like, because everyone and their brother, I should probably watch out here because of low kick. Everyone back in their brother, back in the days of 2014, wanted to be a Let's Player. Every Pokemon YouTuber I know did Let's Plays. Everyone got a graphics package. Everyone was trying to do collab. And yeah, like, you know, verses and stuff like that. Like that's what everybody did. That's how everyone like got faint. Like, you know, everyone like, you know, got around it. I mean, like I wanted to be exactly like these Let's Players. I remember I did like my Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green randomizer Nuzlocke. I did my Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. I did all these sorts of different Let's Plays and stuff, and that was honestly like I had like a lot of fun. But then, you know, I was doing that for a year and a half, and I was getting all these subscribers. But I'm like, you know what? Like, I really, really want to make YouTube into a job, and that's when I decided, you know what? I had, you know, I wanted to do some top 10s because, you know, top 10s seemed to be like, you know, the thing that was doing well, and I honestly, you know, in like a lot of ways, regret doing top 10s because that's not what I really, really wanted to do. And I mean, you know, maybe had I would have gone down a different route, excuse me, maybe I would have had like, you know, a different outlook on how I view content creation like as a whole, because like I enjoy doing top 10s to a degree, but I mean, I never really truly wanted to do them. And in like, you know, in some ways I do feel disingenuous to my audience because, you know, like if you're not doing something from, you know, the heart, I mean, like, you know, what's the point? You know what I mean? And I mean, I understand, you know, that monetary gain is definitely very, very important. I mean, hence why monetary gain is like, you know, somewhat, you know, is honestly one of the main reasons why I still do top 10s is because it pays my bills and I do relatively well with it, not gonna lie. But, you know, doing something that you really, really love, I mean, I feel like is like the ultimate way that you really, really find passion in your life. And, you know, if there's no passion or no purpose in life, you know, it's kind of like, you know, what are we really doing? I mean, like, you know, I learned like, you know, from like a long time ago, you know, I used to think that money, like, you know, used to be the most important thing, like, you know, view chasing, trying to hop into the algorithm, like, you know, all that stuff was important, but it's like, it's really not. I mean, I feel like, you know, with that mindset, you know, like a lot of creators get burned out, and God knows I have. And I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I am burned out is specifically because of that. I chase more for money versus chasing for something that I really, really love to do. And you know what, like, I wonder, like, what would have happened if I would have done Let's Plays in the very, very beginning, like, how much my content creator journey, like, you know, would have changed. It's like, would I be as big as I am now? Would I have, you know, like, I mean, I don't know, like, would I have made content creation decisions differently? You know, those are all what if questions, you know, that I don't have the answer to. However, nowadays, you know, and it's like, I tried doing Let's Plays a couple years ago on Mystic Zora, but back then, I just what, you know, I was just kind of like, you know, like in like a mental rut, like, you know, yeah. I just didn't really have like, you know, like as much passion for content creation, like, you know, for Let's Plays as more as I do now. I feel like I definitely have more passion for Let's Plays nowadays because I don't know, like, you know, it gives me something to do. And I mean, you know, like I can interact with you guys on a more like, you know, personal level. Because like in like a lot of my content, like I'm definitely more scripted oriented, you know, I haven't really had the chance, like, you know, to really properly show off my personality. And I mean, as much as like, you know, I want to, like, in my scripted content, I mean, just writing something out versus actually like talking and like expressing it, it's just a different way of like expression for myself. And I don't know, expressing yourself, like, you know, through actually talking versus writing, you know, is definitely a lot different versus writing something out. Because I mean, like, when you write something out, you have a more staged approach, I guess I should say. It's like, I know how I'm supposed to be feeling when I record that line and I write it out. But it's like, sometimes, you know, it's like, I force myself to, you know, do these recordings because, I mean, it pays the bills. I mean, like, you know, I just want to be like, you know, just like a little bit genuine about that. When I record the Let's Plays, I get to talk more from like a more like authentic perspective. And I don't know. I just, I enjoy being able, like, you know, to speak, you know, what's on my mind, you know, and doing something I love at the same exact time. Hence why I went on, like, that rant video back in episode 2. That entire video for episode 2 was literally everything that went into Drew Gaines' video. I can rant all day. But, I mean, you know, ranting does get old, and it can get kind of sour after a while, so I'm going to try not to do it. But, I mean, you know, when we don't have anything really going on in these episodes, and, you know, I feel like a lot of you guys also, I'm going to sit up real quick because I lean back in my chair a little bit. But, I mean, I feel like also a lot of you guys, like, you know, sometimes if you can't watch, sometimes you guys will have my videos on in the car, like while you're driving to work or something, or it's like you're cleaning or doing, you're multitasking and you want some kind of background noise to come on at the same time. You guys will listen to these Let's Plays. And honestly, if you guys do watch my videos in that format, definitely leave a comment down below, because I actually do that a lot too when I'm watching like a variety of like Dragon Ball content creators. Like I watch Salad Sand. Some of you guys might not be in the Dragon Ball, and that's totally fine. But I'm just gonna say I watch like Salad Sand, I watch Saiyan Scholar, Geekdom 101, and like what I'll do in Moscow as well. What I'll do is I'll leave their videos on in the background, and I'll basically just listen to them while I work, and it's kind of relaxing. I mean, like I get it. Like sometimes, like, you know, actually what I used to do as a kid and as a teenager was I would always used to fall asleep to the TV in the background. I know nowadays it probably isn't the best to do that, but now what I do is I fall asleep with my earbuds, and I fall asleep to not like ASMR, but basically like water noises, like spa, like, you know, like how like you're underwater and like you can hear like the bubbles and stuff like that. I fall asleep to that, and it's actually very relaxing. Anywho, though, Diva is about to be level 19, I'm pretty sure. And this, nah, you know what? Fuck it. All this, pardon my French, by the way. You have a Mach Chop. Do you have Karate Chop by any chance? But this is the part of the episode where I'm gonna start swapping out to Paris, and I'm gonna start letting it get the switching experience as we go along with things. Oh god, training this Paris is going to be a pain in the ass. Luckily, though, these hikers will go down pretty easily with Water Gun. And we'll have Bubble Beam by the time we beat Misty, too, so that's going to be pretty handy. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what I was going back to before in terms of, like, you know, purpose and stuff like that. I mean, you know what? It's just, it's hard to truly find out, you know, what you want to do with your life. And alright, you have a Rattata. I'm afraid you are going to go for a Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang on these little guys actually does a lot of damage, especially when they do stuff like Tail Whip and whatnot. I wish I had Mega Punch. Where do you actually even get Mega Punch in this? Like, is Mega Punch, like, I know I can find Body Slam on the SSM, but I'm gonna like multitask and look it up like at the same time. Where to find Mega Punch TM? Red and blue. I'm pretty positive you can find Mega Punch as a TM. Yeah. Oh, you actually get it inside of Mountain Moon. What the heck? Are you serious? Where do you actually get this? I might actually... You know what? I can't even go back to Mount Moon anymore because I forgot I jumped over the ledge, but... Gosh darn, I cannot believe I missed freaking Mega Punch. Oh well, at least I'll be able to get Body Slam on the SSN. At least I hope I can get by some on the SSN. That would suck if I couldn't. Let's see where to find Body Slam. Okay, so I was right about being able to find on the SSN. Good. So I will have a better stab normal type attack as we go along. As far as Raticate goes, I think Hyper Fang is going to be good for the vast majority of the game until like I get strength and stuff like that. Once again, I don't even know like what Raticate's moveset's looking like. It's like you'd expect me to know these things like off the top of my head, but realistically, like I don't. Like I'm not a Pokedex encyclopedia like how some of you guys think I am. I've been doing Pokemon stuff for a living for the past like 10 years of my life. Crazy, I know. Nah, Hyper Fang's the only move I get for quite a while. Takedown's apparently a TM too. I'm definitely gonna give Body Slam to Wigglytuff though, because Wigglytuff literally gets nothing. Maybe what I'll do is does Raticate get Mega Punch? No, it does not. Maybe what I'll do is I'll head back over to Mount Moon. I'll give Wigglytuff Mega Punch, and I'll give Raticate Body Slam. And then later on, I can give both of them String. Yeah, you know what? That's probably actually gonna be what I wind up doing, is I'll probably wind up giving Wigglytuff Mega Punch, and I'll give Raticate the Body Slam technique, because Raticate actually can't get Body Slam. I can't get Mega Punch, sorry. Which is kind of weird to me, because, I mean, Raticate technically does have, like, fists. Like, why can't it get Mega Punch? I have no idea. It's kind of silly if you ask me. Real quick, though, I am going to heal up. I'm going to go and fast forward real fast. And I will see you guys back up there after the shortcut. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. And basically, this is just another hiker. These guys are honestly making this very, very easy for Fungi to level up. Like I said before, though, I know I've said this like a million times, I still have no idea like what I'm even going to be doing for like a moveset on this thing. What even is my freaking moveset on the worst team video? Like, I don't even like remember. I probably should have looked this up beforehand, but I mean, you know, what are you going to do? I hope you guys, you know, enjoy, you know, this type of content, though, you know what I mean? Like, I try, you know, and be like, you know, like authentic in these kinds of videos, because I thoroughly enjoy making them, and, you know, if it can make an impact on your day, you know, that's all I ask. It's Parasec's moveset. Leech Life, Mega Drain, Spore, and Toxic. God, Mystic, that's a terrible moveset. I didn't even give it Slash. God. Some of these worst team videos, I'm like, really? Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Fire Blast? God. Not even stab normal type attacks. Jeez. I mean, like, I know this is supposed to be like the worst team, but I mean, I will not lie. I'll be transparent with you guys. Back in the day, I used to have another writer help me out with these, and that was when I was going through, like, you know, it's like a little bit of a time, like, you know, where I just, you know, was just didn't really like give it a plain F about my content, like in general, and you know, it kind of goes back to that video, you know, where I half-ass things, because of that, like, I'm really not proud of how that worst team came out, like that. Why doesn't Wigglytuff have a normal stab attack? I mean, it should have a normal stab attack alongside Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. Yeah, I'm not liking that, and the fact that Fungi doesn't get that, I didn't even give Fungi like Slash, like what? Its special attack is also booty. Like, when in the right mind, like, would I even be able to use that? You know what I mean? I'm actually going to try and actually take on the Slowpoke with a Scratch attack, and we'll see what happens. Something tells me it's not going to go well. That didn't do a thing. That legit did not do anything at all, period. I love Pokemon, don't you? Got the confusion. Oh, yeah. I think this is the trainer that you can actually battle to activate the Mew glitch. Fun fact, I actually didn't even know about the Mew glitch until I was like 18 years old and I was a senior. The first time I did it, funny enough, I was actually in my Spanish class and I was a senior. And I remember I busted out my Game Boy Advance SP. And I did the Mew glitch in class. And the teacher was like, you know, put your Game Boy away. I go, you're like, you know, that's fine. But then, like, this one kid stood up. He was like, you're playing Pokemon, ha ha ha. And like a few other people laughing. I'm like, you're making fun of me because I play Pokemon? I go, bro, Pokemon's one of the greatest games of all time. I go, and I'm playing the OG Pokemon Red and Blue right here. I go, the majority of you guys in this class have played Pokemon Red and Blue, right? And everyone's like, yeah, like, and some people are like, yeah, like, Pokemon, like, slays, bro, like, I remember playing like the OG games, like, you know, back when I was a kid. I go, yeah, I'm playing the OG games right now. I love Pokemon. I go, these games are great. It was pretty cool. the many stories I have of bringing my game system to school, man. I have tons of stories about that. I remember when I was in 6th grade, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl just came out. Oh man, and I kid you guys not, like, I'm dead serious about this. I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but I used to play my DS in class, and I never got caught, but I only did it a couple times because I was scared, like, because like I knew if it got taken away, my dad found out about it, I was not getting that game back at all. My dad would take away my video game systems whenever I'd mess up, and he'd take it away for a good long while. But I was in class, and I actually was playing my Nintendo DS in my backpack. Like, I kid you not. Imagine yourself, like, in school, right? Like, you have, like, those, like, little miniature desks, or you're at like, a little table. You're next to somebody. And, like, I was pretending like I was sleeping. And I had my hands in my backpack. And I was playing my fucking DS in the backpack while the teacher was going over, like, she was at her desk, like, grading papers. We had, like, a little bit of free time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit careful about this. I'm going to try not to get caught. But I did that until it was time, to go, to the next lesson. And I would do that a lot. And another thing I used to see people do in class was back in 5th grade, we would have these desks, like you'd have like the inside part of your desk, right? Like where you'd have like pencil boxes or pens and papers and stuff like that. And people would play Mario Kart DS in class, and they'd like face off against each other. Back during those times, unfortunately, I didn't have a Nintendo DS. That was back in like 2005. I didn't get my DS until 2006 with the Nintendo DS Lite. I remember too, there was this one kid. I forgot the Switch, my bad. There was this one kid at my bus stop. I brought my Pokemon Emerald copy. And that previous summer, I remember I traded like a Zapdos on there from Fire Red and Leaf Green. It was like level 86. I had an Umbreon at like level 90. I had like my level 100 Blaziken, dude. I had all kinds of dope shit on there. I remember even having like my like a level 100 like Shiny Charizard. Shiny Charizard, as we all know, is amazing. Like, that black color scheme is fucking sick. And I remember, like, back in the day, I had no idea what shiny Pokemon are. So with that said, this guy at the bus stop, he scammed me for like $5. I remember, like, I was like, Mom, I need $5 for lunch money. Nah, that lunch money was used to buy Pokemon. And I remember, like, I mooched off my friends at the lunch table that day just so I could get a shiny Charizard. Well, back in the day, I was like, well, can I get a blue Charizard? He's like, no, I can only get a black Charizard. But I'm like, back in the day, I didn't know shiny Pokemon existed. But with that, people at the bus stop knew I was getting these shiny Pokemon, right? I left my game in my DS. I shared, I was like, yeah, I keep my Game Boy in here. I was a dipshit. And some person stole my Pokemon Emerald copy. Yeah, my Pokemon Emerald copy was stolen. Every level 100 I had on there, every little possible dope Pokemon I had on there was stolen from me. And let me just tell you, when I found out about it, I went up to every person at the bus stop, even the 8th graders, dude. Like, no one was about, I mean, the 8th graders more or less not. In my junior high, it was 6th through 8th. And I know in most junior highs across the states, it's 7th and 8th, and I don't know about European countries and stuff like that, but I was in 6th grade at my bus stop because I took the bus to school, and I was going to everybody that I knew played their games, and I was like, what? I'm like, where's my Pokemon Emerald copy? Like, I went up to multiple people. I was like, who stole my Pokemon Emerald? And like, I knew the kid who did it. Like, I had a very, very strong hunch, but like, he didn't come up to me and like, admit to me. But to this day, if for whatever reason you are watching my videos, I know who you are. You stole my Pokemon Emerald copy. And I want it back. Will I ever get it back? No, I highly doubt it, but yeah, it's whatever. But I mean, like, it stinks because my Pokemon Emerald copy was stolen from me. And I remember that Pokemon Emerald copy so well. Like, I have a Pokemon Emerald copy now, but that's not like my original one I got. Like, the first Pokemon Emerald copy I got was for my birthday when I was 11. I turned 11 years old. And I remember very, very much so that my Pokemon Emerald copy, like, the sticker of it was, like, halfway torn off. Like, I remember that Emerald copy so well. And I remember, like, exactly, like, that copy right there. Even though, like, I'm, like, a Johto fan, I spent a lot, I think I had maybe, like, 450 hours of gameplay on that Pokemon Emerald copy. I brought that shit to school. I played it in class. I mean, that shit was so awesome. It sucks still, because now it's gone. If I ever, like, go to, like, a GameStop and, like, because I remember, like, I'm sure some of you guys have, like, watched these YouTube shorts for, like, these creators. They've gone back to old GameStop and they've actually found, like, their old copies. Like, I can only imagine, like, how happy I would actually be if I went to one of those GameStops and I saw, I'm like, wow. Like, that's the same Emerald copy I had back when I was a kid. Like, that's insane. Back when the battery was still fresh, too, by the way. The Emerald copy I have nowadays is like, the batteries run dry, in-game clock, blah, 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 blah. You know, some events won't occur, etc. But I miss my Pokemon Emerald copy, dude. And I remember I sold all my other Pokemon games, too. Like, I was a dumb kid. I played a lot of MapleStory. I played a lot of RuneScape. What I would do is, if you guys played MapleStory back in the day, I'm sure you guys, you know, if you're my age, you guys will know. MapleStory was GMS, especially if you played here in America. It was like a side-scroller MMORPG, and I spent a lot of time in that game. Sure, some of you guys remember NX. My mom would never buy me NX because that MapleStory was basically like the birth of microtransactions. And God, dude, like, for a kid, I spent a lot of money on that. Like, I sold every Pokemon game I have. Like, I have, like, a gambling addiction. And in some ways, I still do, because I spent a lot of money on Genshin Impact that I heavily regret. Will I ever get that money back? Hell no. But I probably should have learned my lesson from back in the day from playing MapleStory, not to, go crazy as I did. But yeah, like, I sold my Pokemon Silver copy, my Pokemon Crystal copy. I sold so many games, man. My Pokemon Platinum copy. Don't get me wrong, yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green too. These new copies of Fire Red and Leaf Green that I have, I legitimately I bought those again from eBay. And I did do my research on, which Pokemon games were fake and which weren't, which, by the way, thank you, Candy Evie. She actually gives a very, very good video explanation on how to distinguish fake copies and real copies. And I remember, like, I went to like a retro game shop, and I found a Pokemon copy of Fire Red, but it was actually fake. The game worked, but I remember, like, going like, why isn't this game working? I would constantly, like, do the trick. You'd blow in the cartridge, you'd put it in the spot, and it wouldn't work. And I'm like, well, that didn't work. And my mom bought it for me. She's like, yeah, I found it for like $5. And I'm like, all right, is this real or is this fake? This is like back in like 2012, mind you, by the way. Back when I really didn't know fake copies actually existed. But yeah, I mean, like, as a Pokemon fan, and I'm sure some of you guys too, I have a lot of regrets for all the dumb stuff I did back in the day when it came to my Pokemon games. I wish I still had, like, all those original copies. Not even just for, like, like the monetary value of, like, what they could potentially sell for, like, in the future, but more so just for the aspect of just, being able to say, like, I still have my original copy of Pokemon Red that I had from back in the day, which I actually do. I still have my original Pokemon Red copy. But other than Pokemon Red, all my other games aren't original copies. Pokemon Yellow is. My mom got that for me for my birthday when I was like 9 or 10. Pokemon Yellow is awesome, by the way. Anyway, you're about to faint, and I have gone on a rant for a long time. If you guys have any, like, experiences like these in regards to, like, Pokemon games you had back in the day, please let me know down below, because I love, hearing about, like, old stories and stuff like that. And I wouldn't even mind, you know, doing like, you know, content like this, like on the main channel. But I mean, you know what? I really don't think like, you know, those videos, you know, would get a lot of views, but like on a Let's Play, for instance, like I can talk about like whatever I want as long as you guys have gameplay in front of you. So I would stream these, but I don't know. I'd rather just have gameplay and just me talking. To me, I've always found this style of content even fun anyway, more fun anyways, because thing is with like an audience is I have to stay there for 4 hours a day. I have to be consistent about it. With doing Let's Plays like this, I can record these on my own time, and like say for example, like I don't feel like working like tomorrow, I could record all these like in a single day, and like I could have content for like 2 weeks. It's easier for me on that front for sure. And there's Bill. I'm a Pokemon. No, I'm not. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. And this guy is so funny. I love Bill. Bill's honestly one of my favorite characters. Guy turns himself into a Pokemon. You have to press the teleportation machine right here, and he turns back into his human self. Wouldn't it be crazy if technology nowadays would let you turn into an animal? I wonder like how that would even like turn out. It'd be scary. Yeah, thanks, bye, OE1. Did you come to my Pokemon collection? He gives you the S's and ticket, which is good. Excellent job. And just because it's a nostalgia trip, and this is Pokemon Red and Blue, and Kanto. Does he let you? I'm pretty positive if I go inside and out, he lets you see the evolutions on his PC. Am I right about that? Yeah. So you got Eevee. You got Flareon. You know, for a Gen 1 game, like, I know some of these Pokemon look, you know, like this, like, really, like, deformed. Like, I mean, I'm sure we all know Mew's sprite, come on. But, I mean, a lot, you know, those sprites actually look kind of clean. Gen 1, in a lot of aspects, does make some Pokemon look really, really cute. If you guys have ever played the randomizer for from Gen 1 all the way up to Generation 6, they actually have Pokemon from from like Gen 2 and onwards with Generation 1 sprites. Some of them are very, very scary, but also some of them are actually kind of adorable. Maybe some of these, maybe one of these days I'll do a Gen 1 playthrough of a randomizer like that, but I don't know. We'll see that. We'll say that for another day. Anyway, though, I've been recording now for about 40 minutes. With that said, I think we've accomplished a lot today. I went ahead and I took on all the Nugget Bridge. We grind up Paris a little bit. Jerry's level 21, Diva's level 19. I think we're ready to go take on Misty, guys. I think we're actually going to do pretty well against her. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and say that for a different time, and I will see you guys next time.